What is up, guys? We are out at Electrify Expo in Orlando, Florida, over here at the OWOW Cycles tent, and we're going to be checking out the Conductor Plus, so stay tuned. Let's jump right into the most interesting thing about this trike. It's a convertible. No, not that kind of convertible. It converts from having a huge amount of storage as a cargo trike to becoming a rickshaw all in about 5 seconds. Now, we got a chance to test out the prototype last year, and while that one was cool, they really dialed in the production model. It's super easy to convert between cargo and passenger mode, so whether you're carrying your kid or the food that will be consumed by your kid, it gets the job done. It's packing a powerful 1000 watt motor and a staggering 50 amp hours of battery capacity here, and only the best of the best LG cells. Not to give too much away up front, but this is easily the most versatile trike we have ever tested. The test ride lines at Electrify can get pretty long, but OWOW Cycles had the most visited EV booth by far, with some people waiting about an hour for a chance to rip around the test track. And rip it does. The motor here is surprisingly torquey. It has a 1000 watt hang time motor that is a rear chain drive. Now with trikes, we do see a lot of front hub motors, and that has some drawbacks such as torque, overall performance, and ride feel. But with the rear chain drive, it fixes all of those. The thing has way more torque and get up and go than you'd expect. I easily hit 28 miles per hour, which is usually just an idea when it comes to trikes, but OWOW has things dialed and hitting faster speeds is super doable. You might be thinking, more speed must be less maneuverable. But as with all the recent trikes from OWOW, the Conductor Plus has a differential in the rear axle, meaning you can make a 0-degree turn if you want to. The differential allows the rear wheel to turn at different speeds, meaning this thing is ready to literally run circles around other trikes. We mentioned that the Conductor Plus comes with 50 amp hours of battery capacity, and that's not just a sensationalized headline. There are 2 batteries on board, one 30 amp hour that's internal and on the right hand side of the cargo area, and a 20 amp hour battery right behind the seat. That means you're looking at 80 to 100 miles depending on how much cargo you're hauling, and how much throttle you use, of course. At the end of the day, we've got ourselves a long-range trike, which I didn't think I'd be saying prior to solid state becoming the norm. Pretty sweet. With this trike, there are lots of goodies to check out, and to save myself from having a 30-minute long review, I'm going to list some of these pretty rapidly. Accessories-wise, we've got front basket, deep and wide enough to carry some meaningful cargo, front light mounted to the front basket, decently bright, turn signals, excellent safety feature, especially with the wideness of a trike, integrated brake light, again, an excellent safety feature, retractable seatbelt, such a game changer for seatbelts on trikes. Normally, they're flapping around and making noise when not in use, but not this one. Cup holders, carry your water, coffee, Jamba Juice, or whatever. Chain tensioner, excellent addition here since trikes tend to have a longer frame length and longer chains in general. Let's mention this folding bench seat again, plus it's got cushions for your butt and back. A secret storage compartment for storing your secrets. Cushioned floor mats, Louis Vuitton, the art of travel. They're not really Louis Vuitton, but they kind of have those vibes. And side rails, good for holding on when being a passenger or great for extending the sides of the rear when in cargo mode. The brakes are Bengal Aries 7 Plus hydraulic brakes with a locking feature, which is a huge bonus for a trike. These bad boys are attached to 3 180mm rotors, meaning this trike can be brought to a stop in a surprisingly short amount of time. My experience was the brakes were pretty dialed in, no rubbing, and they brought the Conductor Plus to a halt when needed. It also has brake light integration, so when you do pull on the brake levers, your brake lights come on, letting people know you're stopping or slowing down. The wheels are all 20 inches, which is a bit of a design departure from previous OWOW Cycles trikes. I like the stability of these 3-inch wide tires, and as some of you may know, 3 inches is my favorite tire width. I feel like it's most of the benefits of a fatter 4-inch tire with more of the ride feel of a traditional bike. We don't get sidewall reflective stripes here, but there's so much room on the chassis to add additional lights or other type of safety enhancers, so that's not a huge deal for me on this one. Up in the front, we've got a really solid cockpit. We've got those hydraulic brakes we talked about, double locking grips, a twist throttle, turn signals, a horn, a slick keypad, and a Shimano SIS index shifter, which attaches to a Shimano Altus derailleur in the rear. Now before we go any further, let's talk about the display here. This thing is bright, colorful, shows us tons of useful information such as top speed, battery percentage, pedal assist level, wattage, motor temp, controller temp, odometer, trip distance, and more. We've seen similar screens on a few other bikes in the last little bit, and I'm glad they're catching on because they're pretty fancy. We touched on the turn signals a few times, but I really like this feature on a trike. You access the turn signals through the small keypad on the left-hand side, and you can turn both of these on to indicate which way you're turning, and I only say that for the folks who don't know what a turn signal is. I've seen you driving. I think you may just be uneducated on how to use those. Lastly, let's talk about who could use this trike and what sort of things they might use it for. The main person using this trike is someone who needs to haul a passenger. A lot of these customers for rickshaw trikes in general have elderly passengers or family members with disabilities. Now, where the Conductor Plus becomes really versatile is the fact that it easily converts into a huge cargo trike. So if you're someone who wants to look at this as a too small passenger trike that converts into a grocery getting machine, that opens up this trike to a lot of folks. It's one of the most competitive car replacement trikes we've tested to date. And as far as price goes, you're looking at $3,650 for the single 30 amp hour version and $4,199 for the double 50 amp hour version. And for those of you that found this review helpful, you can use the code TRIKE100 for an additional $100 off. I'll also pin that in the comments so you get those savings added to your order. All in all, the Conductor Plus is just so versatile. I haven't seen anything else on the market that competes with it. I guess that's why people were willing to wait an hour just to do one lap with their family and friends. If you want to check out OL Cycles, you can head over to their website, www.olcycles.com. And if you guys have any questions for me, let me know down in the comments, and we'll catch you on the next one.